Sophia has been hiding in plain sight, and after episode 7, I don't think the question is if she gets exposed anymore. The real question is who sees through her first. Because right now, Sophia isn't just surviving in this town, she's controlling it. She's inside their homes, inside their plans, inside their minds. Every move Boyd makes, every secret meeting, every desperate attempt to escape, Sophia is already one step ahead. But episode 7 changed everything. Because for the first time, 3 people are now dangerously close to the truth. And my answer about who exposes her? It completely changed. Up until now, I was sure Sarah would be the first one to figure it out. It made perfect sense. She hears the voices. She feels when something dark is near. And Sophia moving into her house wasn't random. That choice mattered. But after episode 7, something happened that shifted the entire board. A new piece appeared. A piece that changes how this whole story could unfold. And now I think the show has been setting up someone else from the beginning. Before we break down who exposes Sophia first, we need to understand why Sophia is even harder to stop now than she was before. Because what makes Sophia terrifying isn't just that she's evil. It's that she understands everyone in this town better than they understand themselves. Think about everything she's done since arriving. She came into town like a victim. Scared. Quiet. Harmless. That was the perfect disguise. Nobody questioned her because the town always brings in broken people. People running from something. Sophia fit the pattern so perfectly that everyone accepted her immediately. But behind that innocent face, she was already moving pieces. She chose Sarah's house. Not Colony House. Not the diner. Sarah. That wasn't random. Sophia knew Sarah was isolated. She knew Sarah was unstable in the eyes of the town. If anything happened, if Sarah accused her of something, nobody would listen. That gave Sophia the safest place possible to operate. And then came the voices. That's the first major clue. The second Sophia moved in, Sarah started hearing them again. Not days later. Not slowly. Immediately. That tells us something huge. Sophia isn't connected to the voices. She controls them. And if that's true, it means Sophia isn't just another monster. She's something higher. Something older. Episode 4 made that clear when Sophia whispered beside Sarah, and the voices returned like a switch being flipped. That moment changed everything. Because Sophia wasn't attacking Sarah physically. She was testing her. She wanted to know if Sarah could still be controlled. And then she pushed it further. The diner scene looked meaningless at first. Pour water. Drink it. Pour it back. But it wasn't about the water. It was about obedience. Sophia needed proof that fear still worked. And it did. That means Sarah is vulnerable. But Sarah isn't the only one. Sophia touched Mari and triggered visions. She poisoned Henry and forced hallucinations. She revived Roger's corpse and sent him into Colony House. That's what episode 7 proved. Sophia isn't experimenting anymore. She's escalating. And that escalation tells us one thing. She's running out of time. Villains only move this fast when they know the walls are closing in. That's why someone is getting close. The question is who? At first, Sarah felt like the obvious answer. She has the connection. She feels the darkness. She lives beside Sophia every day. And if you watch her carefully, Sarah already knows something is wrong. Look at her face every time Sophia speaks. It's not fear anymore. It's recognition. Like part of her remembers something her mind hasn't caught up to yet. That matters. Because Sarah knows what manipulation feels like. She knows how the town lies. She knows evil doesn't always look evil. But here's the problem. Sarah has no credibility. And Sophia knows it. That's why she chose her. Even if Sarah stands in front of Boyd and says Sophia is the monster, who believes her? The woman who once tried to kill Ethan? The woman everyone still watches carefully? Sophia built that trap perfectly. Sarah may be the first to suspect. But suspicion isn't enough. To expose Sophia, you need proof. And after episode 7, someone else may have just found it. Someone who understands patterns. Someone who has seen this cycle before. Someone the town has underestimated for years. Victor. And what he found in episode 7 might be the most important clue in the entire season. Because the bag of teeth wasn't random. It never was. And once you connect that to Sophia, the whole disguise starts to crack. Victor is the one I keep coming back to because episode 7 gave him something no one else has right now, physical evidence. And in a town where visions can be questioned, voices can be dismissed, and memories can be buried, physical evidence changes everything. That bag of teeth inside the old car wasn't just another creepy detail.
This show does not waste details like that.
Think about it. Victor went looking for the original car tied to the man in yellow. Not because he fully understood why, but because deep down he felt the pattern repeating. That instinct matters. Victor has lived through this cycle longer than anyone. He remembers things nobody else does. He carries pieces of the past that the town has tried to bury. And when he opened that glove compartment and found those teeth, his reaction wasn't confusion. It was fear. Real fear. The kind of fear that comes from recognition. That tells me Victor has seen this before. Now connect that to Sophia. After killing the pastor, Sophia kept his tooth. At first, it looked like a disturbing habit. A trophy maybe.
But now?
It feels much bigger than that. It feels ritualistic. Like the same instinct repeating through different forms. The old man in yellow collected teeth. Sophia collects teeth. Different body. Same entity. That's the connection Victor is holding in his hands right now without fully saying it out loud. And if Victor makes that connection, everything changes. Because Victor isn't like Sarah. People may think he's strange, but they listen when it matters. Especially Boyd. Especially Tabitha. And especially Ethan. That's important because Ethan might actually be the key to unlocking Victor's truth. Look at Victor's entire arc this season. He's terrified, but focused on Ethan. Every warning, every panic, every drawing, it all keeps circling back to Ethan. Victor sees himself in Ethan. A boy caught inside the same nightmare. A boy standing at the start of a cycle Victor already survived. That's why his fear feels different now. He's not just scared for himself. He's scared for Ethan becoming him. And that fear could finally force Victor to speak. That's the part that matters most. Victor has spent 40 years surviving by staying silent. Silence kept him alive. Silence kept the memories buried. But protecting Ethan may require the exact opposite. It may require Victor finally saying the truth out loud. And once he does, Sophia's entire game starts to collapse. Because Sophia's greatest weapon isn't her power. It's secrecy. The moment the town knows what she is, she loses access. She loses meetings. She loses trust. She loses information. Every smile becomes suspicious. Every word becomes dangerous. And that changes the war. But there's another player we can't ignore. Julie. And this is where things get even more dangerous. Because Julie may not have evidence, but she has something even stronger. Memory. Not her own memory. The town's memory. That story-walking ability keeps putting her in places she shouldn't be. Places tied to past cycles. Past massacres. Past truths. And episode 4 proved something massive. Julie saw the man in yellow in his real form. Not disguised. Not hidden. His real face. That means Julie has already seen what Sophia truly is. She just doesn't know it yet. That's the terrifying part. The answer may already be in her head. She just hasn't connected it. And if she does, everything explodes. Because unlike Victor, Julie doesn't need clues. She needs one moment. One look at Sophia. One flash of memory. One connection. And suddenly she knows. That's why Julie is dangerous to Sophia in a completely different way. Victor is the slow burn. Julie is instant ignition. And if both of them start figuring it out at the same time, Sophia may lose control faster than she planned. But there's one detail from episode 7 nobody is talking about. And I think it proves Sophia knows Victor is the biggest threat. Because if you pay attention carefully, Sophia has been watching Victor too. That's the part that changed my answer after episode 7. Before this, I thought Sophia was simply playing the town. Moving from house to house, gathering secrets, testing people, setting traps. But now it feels more personal than that. More targeted. Because if Sophia really is the man in yellow, then she knows exactly who Victor is. And that changes everything. Victor isn't just another survivor. He's the only living witness to the last full cycle. He's the one person who saw what happened when this thing walked through town before. He's the one person who remembers the blood, the bodies, and the truth behind the smile. And if Sophia knows that, then she also knows Victor is the biggest risk. Go back and look at how little direct contact they've had. That's not accidental. Sophia has been around everyone.
Boyd, Sarah, Henry, Mari, Kenny.
But with Victor? Almost nothing. That absence matters. It feels deliberate. Like Sophia is avoiding the one person who could look at her and see through the mask. And if that's true, then Sophia is scared. Not of Boyd. Not of the tunnel mission. Not of the totems.
Victor.
That says everything. Because monsters don't fear weapons. They fear recognition. The second someone truly sees what they are, the illusion starts dying. And Victor is the closest thing this town has to living truth. But here's where it gets dangerous. Sophia knows how to strike first. If she senses Victor remembering, she won't wait. That's what episode 8 might be building toward. Not Victor exposing Sophia. Sophia trying to silence Victor before he can. And if that happens, Ethan becomes the center of everything. Because Ethan is the bridge between them. Victor trusts Ethan more than anyone. He tells him things he won't tell adults. He shows him drawings. He gives him warnings. And Ethan listens. That relationship feels bigger now. Because if Victor dies before exposing Sophia, Ethan may inherit the truth. Think about how powerful that would be. Victor spends decades carrying this nightmare alone, only for the knowledge to pass to Ethan right before the end. That would complete Victor's arc. But I don't think that's where this is going.
I think Victor survives.
And I think the show has been building to one quiet moment. Not a huge battle. Not a dramatic speech. Just a look. Victor sees Sophia. Sophia sees Victor looking. And both of them understand, in that single second, that the game is over. That's how this show works. The scariest moments are never loud. They're silent. And that silence is what I think we're heading toward. Sarah will feel it first. Julie may confirm it later. But Victor is the one who breaks it open. That's my final answer. Not because he's the strongest. Not because he's the smartest. But because he's the only one holding all the pieces. The face. The pattern. The teeth. The memory. The fear. And now, finally, the reason to act. Sophia came into town thinking everyone here was blind. But Victor has seen this darkness before. He survived it once. And this time, he may be the reason nobody else has to. The biggest question now isn't who exposes Sophia. It's what Sophia does when she realizes she's been exposed. Because if the man in yellow loses the mask, then the real war begins. And if episode 8 is where this starts, we're about to watch the entire season change in one scene. Watch Victor closely. Watch what he draws. Watch where Sophia stands. Because the truth is closer than it's ever been. And when it finally comes out, this town may never recover. If Victor is really the one who exposes Sophia, then episode 8 isn't about discovery anymore, it's about reaction. Because in this kind of story, the truth doesn't end the danger. It starts it. The moment Victor connects the pieces fully, the town doesn't instantly become safe. It becomes unstable. Every interaction shifts. Every conversation carries weight. And Sophia, she doesn't just sit back and wait for exposure. She adjusts. That's what makes her different from everything the town has faced before. She doesn't panic when things get close. She redirects them. So if Victor starts showing even the smallest sign of recognition, Sophia has only one real option left. Control the outcome before it happens. That could mean isolating Victor again. Pulling him away from Ethan. Separating him from the only person he trusts enough to speak freely. Because Victor doesn't reveal truth in front of crowds. He reveals it in fragments. In drawings. In half-sentences. In moments when he feels safe. And Ethan is the only reason he feels safe at all. That relationship is now the most dangerous connection in the entire town. Not because it's loud, but because it's quiet. Meanwhile, Sarah is still sitting on the edge of realization. She doesn't have proof, but she has pattern recognition. And that's worse for Sophia than certainty, because certainty can be manipulated. Doubt can be redirected. But patterns, once they click, they don't disappear. Sarah will start noticing timing first. Every time Sophia is near a breakdown, something else happens in town. Every time someone gets close to truth, something else breaks. That repetition is going to start forming a shape in Sarah's mind. Not a theory yet, just discomfort. And discomfort always turns into suspicion. Julie, on the other hand, is already halfway out of the puzzle and doesn't even know it. She has seen the man in yellow's face, but her memory is fragmented by the nature of storywalking. The danger with Julie isn't that she won't understand the truth, it's that she won't understand when she understands it. Her realizations don't arrive in order. They arrive in flashes. And one of those flashes is going to line up with Sophia being in the wrong place at the wrong time. That's the trigger point. That's when three separate threads stop being separate. Victor's memory, Sarah's suspicion, Julie's vision, all of them pointing toward the same face, Sophia. And once that alignment happens, the disguise stops working. Because deception only survives when it's fragmented. When every person knows a different version of reality. But when those versions merge, the illusion collapses instantly. That's why episode 8 feels like a turning point. Not because everything gets revealed at once, but because too many people are getting close at the same time. And Sophia can't control all of them forever. Victor is the slow pressure building under the surface. Sarah is the emotional instability in the system. Julie is the unpredictable force that breaks logic entirely. And Boyd is still the wild card in the middle of all of it, trying to hold a collapsing town together without realizing the foundation is already gone. So the real question isn't just who exposes Sophia first. It's whether she lets it happen in a controlled way or whether it explodes all at once. Because the moment Victor speaks, even once, even partially, everything changes. And if he says the wrong thing to the wrong person at the wrong time, Sophia won't just be exposed.
She'll be forced to react.
And that reaction may be the first time the town sees what she actually is without the mask at all. Not a visitor, not a victim, but something that has been here long before any of them arrived. Waiting, watching, and learning exactly how to break them one by one. Episode 8 isn't just another episode anymore. It's the start of the collapse.